Welcome. This is the planting moon. We've gone from the first blush of a concept to an actual seed of an idea existing within our mind of what we want. This moon corresponds to the zodiac sign of Taurus. It starts April 20th and continues to about May 19th. Taurus is the sign of the bull, and I don't know about any of you, but I always think of Ferdinand the Bull surrounded by flowers. Earthly Taurus is ruled by Venus, the lesser benefic, in astrology. In many ways, in symbology, Taurus is a representation of Mother Nature. This is why it's no surprise that Joseph Campbell describes supernatural aid this way. What such a figure represents is benign, protecting power of destiny, that though omnipotence may seem to be endangered by the threshold passage and life awakenings, protective power is always and ever present within the sanctuary of the heart, and even eminent within, or just behind, the unfamiliar features of the world. Having responded to his own call and continuing to follow courageously as the consequences unfold, the hero finds all the forces of the unconscious at his side. Mother Nature herself supports the mighty task. Page 59, Joseph Campbell. Campbell goes on to explain that Hermes, also known as Mercury, is often the source of this supernatural aid. He calls this being an initiatory priest. This is interesting because our tarot card for this moon is the Hierophant. In essence, the Hierophant is our higher self, our conscious, if you will, like Jiminy Cricket from Pinocchio, who, of course, was one of the supernatural aids in that story. Paul Foster Case describes the Hierophant this way. He stands for the messages of the inner voice, revealing truth, which instructs us in the principles, which enable us to bring into proper manifestation those forms we desire. You may think the Empress is a better representation of Taurus than the Hierophant, and Paul Foster Case does mention that card, but this moon is assigned to the Hierophant. And not just this moon, but the entire sign of Taurus. Hierophant is the tarot card for Taurus. And the card, there stands before the Hierophant two supplicants. One is Memory, whom Case equates to the High Priestess in the moon, and the other is Desire, who Case equates with Venus. Therefore, the Hierophant is uniting Venus, the ruler of Taurus, represented by copper in alchemy, and the moon, which is represented by silver and is exalted in Taurus. He describes the union of the Hierophant and Venus and the moon as parts of the body. The Hierophant is the auditory center in the brain, the moon is the brow chakra, and Venus is the throat chakra. The Hebrew letter of this moon is Vav. Edward Hoffman shares that Vav is associated with unity. Vav is the nail or hook in the esoteric point of view. This letter is the and of the Hebrew letters, joining together words to form a sentence. Fascinatingly, we have a huge departure and conflict with the system of 7 D.W. Huck lays out, as Paul Foster Case says the second stage is congelation, which he equates to coagulation. Coagulation, remember, is the final stage in the 7 stages of alchemy that Huck presented. To find it here at the second stage seems strange. There is another difference between congelation and coagulation, however. Paul Foster Case says that while calcination broke down the stone, it is now to build it back up. Case refers to the fact that the stone should be like wax and not crystallized. The process, he explains, is not over. In D.W. Huck's book, Sorcerer's Stone, this is cleared up, and Huck explains that congelation is represented by the sign of Taurus. He goes on to explain that unlike coagulation, congelation is a loose or temporary conjunction of opposites, jailed or made semi-solid, and conversion of a thin, easily flowing liquid into a congealed thick substance, often by heating. As the letter Vav suggests, the stage, in Paul Foster Case's work, is more about joining together, desire and memory. This is the opposite of Huck's that lists the second stage as separation. However, union would be the perfect description of planting a seed, and this is the planting mood. 2 items, seed and soil, are joined together. In many cases within the monomyth, it is the supernatural aid that plants the seed within the hero to go on the journey. If Gandalf had not been there to inspire, Frodo would have left home. Our inner voice is what prompts us on our own personal hero's journey every year. Makes sense. After all, it's that inner voice that helps us decide what our intentions and New Year's resolutions will be, even if most people never achieve their goals. Further, even planting a garden follows the process of a manifestation. First, we mark out the boundaries of the garden and plow the soil during first bud's moon. Now we have the seeds of our desires, and we are planting them into our subconscious. This is very similar to how self-fulfilling prophecies work, although we are doing so on purpose. Our memory of what works and our desire guided by intuition is a powerful method to create something new. That is all I have for you today. I will be sharing a meditation on the symbol for Taurus. I find it fascinating there are two processes that can be followed regarding the process of alchemy. The 7 based on the emerald tablet itself that we've covered previously, and the one that follows the zodiac. Thank you for exploring this avenue on the path of the
Stand by, true.